Hi there. This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about my new book titled Autism, the Cause and the Cure. And today we're going to talk about plasmalogens, because autism is a disease of lost plasmalogens. So it's important that you understand the role that they play and the critical junction they play in brain health, because without plasmalogens we couldn't have a brain. So first of all, what is it? Well, it's actually a very simple molecule. It's half of plasmalogens have a fish oil molecule. That's why you take fish oil, and that confers incredible fluidity and flexibility. So I call them superpowers. And if you think of your cell, think of the room you're sitting in right now like a cell in your body. You have 30 trillion cells in your body, and each one of them is like an individual room or house. And if you look at your room around you and look around, you see good strong walls. That's a good feature. Good strong floor, roof that doesn't fall in with the heavy snow. That's the role cholesterol provides. Cholesterol molecule is strong, unbending, rigid, inflexible. If you need a protein that changes its shape and it's surrounded by cholesterol, that protein can't change its shape because rigid, strong cholesterol doesn't move. Cholesterol provides strength so that you can build a cell wall. That's a useful feature. So 50% of every cell wall is cholesterol. What's the other 50%? Well, 30-40% of that are plasmalogens. And there's other minor lipids too, that other roles, but plasmalogens can shapeshift. They're like little baby transformers. So if you have an enzyme that needs to be activated and you turn it on, that enzyme goes from here to here 100 times a second. And in your cell wall, that needs to be surrounded by plasmalogens that can shapeshift with it, so they can move their shape with it. So plasmalogens bring to the fore, to your cells, functionality. And they allow your cells to have the windows and doors that make your room usable. So as you look around your room and your home, you see windows where you can sense the world around you, and doors where you can bring food in and take food out and take trash out. That's exactly what cells have, and that's one of the key features plasmalogens provide. They have a couple other superpowers. Another one is they can provide insulation around nerve fibers. That's a crafty feature. They can stretch, which allows every membrane in your body that needs to stretch. That's part of flexibility. So your arteries that need to stretch when a heartbeat goes, when your lungs, when you breathe, you have to breathe, when your gut, when it squeezes, your heart, when it beats, every muscle fiber in your heart is surrounded by a membrane called the sarcolemma that's 40% plasmalogen. The lining of your pulmonary membrane is 30-40% plasmalogen. But in your brain, you have plasmalogens doing two key things. One is they provide the insulation on your myelin, on your nerve fibers, that allow your conduction of the nerve speed to increase almost 100-fold. That's a handy feature. And they also allow your synapses, the places where two nerves come together, where a little packet of neurotransmitter has to merge with the basement membrane, and when it merges, it's got to disgorge its content out through the membrane into the medium. That has to happen 100 times a second. That could only happen if plasmalogens can change their shape. The final superpower of plasmalogens is they are the antioxidant of first resort. They have a special chemical bond that makes them a plasmalogen called a vinyl ether bond. It's a double bond that juts up to the surface of the cell, and it's outside the surface of the cell, incredibly attractive to oxidants. Oxidants like that double bond area, and they'll come to it, and that destroys it. So in autism, where you have an environment of too much oxidative stress brought on by a chemosphere of too many of too many toxins, all of which are at a low level, but which add up to being too much, degrades the total plasmalogen supply and makes the autistic brain become damaged. That's all you need to know. Oxidative stress, too much oxidative stress from the chemosphere. We're going to talk about chemosphere next video. Makes too much oxidative stress and depletes plasmalogens. And ASD, or autism spectrum disorder, is a disease of lost plasmalogens. And that results in damaged cells, that results in ineffective messaging in the brain. And I can't wait to tell you, when we're getting to the end of the series, we can fix it. There's a repair tool coming, and I can't wait to tell you about it. We can repair autism. Jump forward to the end of the series if you want. It'll be out there in about another week. This is Dr. John Whitcomb for News and Nutrition. If you want to get lots more detail with all the references, read the book, Autism, the Cause and the Cure. And it's linked to postpartum depression. We're going to talk about that too.